Alright, what's going on everyone in the Jason Nation? My name is Jason and welcome to another type of Pokemon news video. I don't do these too often, but when I do, you can guarantee that it is something rather important, I guess you could say. I worded that really weirdly, I don't know why, but nevertheless, I am bringing you guys some very exciting information that I can't even physically believe. It just got, thrown out there just like that. Completely random date, but people knew that, or at least so I've heard. I don't keep up with this Coro Coro stuff, but people knew that these leaks were coming out soon. I just saw this on Twitter, and I'm not surprised to say the least, but it's safe to say at this point that I'm pretty sure Pokemon Z is almost about confirmed at this point. Based on these images that you can see on screen, these were the two leaks that were shown. You can see them on Cerebi. I'll leave a link in the description to the original page that talks about it. Essentially, just to read off what the Cerebi page has to say about this, and I'm going to kind of go into detail about these two characters and such, or sorry, not two characters, two pictures and such, and I'm going to give you a little bit of detail about what happens with these new forms of Zygarde. So first of all, let's start off with this page that shows a description of Zygarde. It's got him in this like big gladiator mode, I guess you could say. Now let's go ahead and read over what Cerebi has to say about this. So it says, first of all, the first images from Coro Coro have leaked and have revealed some further details about Zygarde. Zygarde can take many forms. Normal Zygarde is at 50%, which is the one that you catch normally in X and Y, and that is called Zygarde 50% form. The dog-like form is when it's at 10%, and it's called the Zygarde 10% form. It has sharp teeth, and it's really fast. The blob is the cell, or the core of Zygarde, and it becomes the brain of every single form. And then the flat form is called the Zygarde cell. So that is what the little blob dude that we were introduced to is. A lot of people made theories about that. I know Tyranitar too made a really interesting theory about that, and he was pretty much bang on with that prediction. So very good job with that as well. Furthermore, with this we have a new large form is called Zygarde Perfect Form, and it retains its Dragon and Ground typing. It is the system Pokemon. It's 4.5 meters tall, 610 kilograms, and is said to exceed Xerneas and Yveltal in power, which means that ultimately, however, I don't have information as to how you exactly unlock this ultimate form of Zygarde, but my prediction is that it's going to involve some kind of fusion in the storyline. If you can see, half of it is Zygarde, half of it is Yveltal, with the blue and red color scheme on the sides of it, which are like his not wings, but whatever the hell they are. You can see that it has something to do with the fusion of those two Pokemon mixed with Zygarde, and I feel like ultimately what it comes down to is because this form seems like it's something that only comes out when it is like it needs to protect or it needs to defend, because it is, the defender of Earth supposedly and whatnot. I imagine that in the Z Pokemon game, when it is released and the storyline pertains to something along the lines of you do some kind of fusion act similar to Black and White, Black and White 2, or you do something completely different, which would be nice because I wouldn't like to see another kind of like fusion cop-out, but at the same time, I wouldn't object to it because this is still pretty cool. It could be completely different in terms of story, and just because they reuse one aspect may not make a lot of difference. But nevertheless, though, it's still exciting to see that we're actually finally getting some news, not necessarily directly towards the new Pokemon game, but they're starting to get comfortable with releasing information about it, and it seems that they're definitely going to try and focus everyone's attention around Zygarde like everyone should have been since X and Y came out, because not a lot of people stopped to think until all these theory videos started popping up on YouTube that, maybe Zygarde definitely has more importance and more credit that it deserves than people give it, and lo and behold, we now have our answer of how important Zygarde really is. And it's cool to see that they're actually they're doing it differently than they've done it before, but they've also, released Pokemon before in movies and stuff like that, like Lucario and all that, before they even release it publicly in a game or talk about the new games or anything like that. They kind of like tease stuff really. The thing that I like the most here though is the fact that they are really trying hard with this. It seems to like actually make Z a possibility, but they already said that Z isn't going to be the name. I believe I heard that in an interview in the past. Don't hold me on that one. But hey, you know what? If Pokemon Z is confirmed, I'm sure everybody was expecting that at some point. Maybe they said that they weren't going to name it that because everybody was expecting it, and that's what they said to throw everybody off. Honestly, at this point, I don't know. I just want a new Pokemon game. No Pokemon Go. No thank you. But I can tell you right now, this year is going to be massive for Nintendo, massive for Pokemon specifically because it is their 20th anniversary, and I can guarantee you guys that any information that pops up regarding new main story games and other cool stuff like that will be covered on the channel. I'm not normally a news type channel, but I do like covering stuff like this simply because it allows me to give my opinion on it, and it also allows me to share it with the people who haven't heard about it yet. To go in a little bit more detail here and recap on something that I touched on earlier is the fact that this Zygarde form, like I said, the little blob, that's its base form. My prediction for that is that however it starts off with, that form needs to be powered up in order to change into this dog form of Zygarde that will then be powered up even further, changed into the regular form of Zygarde, and then from there you get the ultimate form. How that plays out in game, I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure this thing will be more storyline related than anything, at least to tell its purpose, and then we'll see how it plays out in the game and whatnot. Another thing to talk about here is that people are bringing up this new Greninja design that everyone's like freaking out about. And I was like, oh, you know, it's a new Greninja, it's a new type of Greninja, it's Mega Greninja 2 or something like that. I actually saw that on my Twitter timeline. I'm not kidding. And it looks to me it's going to be, again, something that seems to be heavily related to the anime. I don't even honestly think that this Greninja has something to do with the in-game features, and specifically the reason why I say that, and I think it was Twit on Twitter who actually mentioned that it looks like Ash's clothes, that he's wearing, like Ash's style, Ash's color scheme. If you look really closely, it's the same exact color scheme as Ash, and it looks extremely similar in a sense, and it almost looks like that is his like main Pokemon next to Pikachu at this point, just based on the way, you know, this image is shown and whatnot. But actually in the background, what's very cool is it also does show the new Zygarde form, which is really badass. That like mouth on his stomach looks insane. Nevertheless, there's a lot that's going to be told and a lot that's going to be talked about from Nintendo, from Game Freak, and just all about the new Pokemon games. I don't know when Z is going to be released. My best guess is sometime in the spring of 2016. That's what I would imagine. And I don't know, we'll go from there. I just wanted to bring this to your guys' attention. I'm sure a lot of you already know about it, but I wanted to get my opinions, talk about it a little bit, and just kind of see where you guys stand on it. And you guys can let me know in the comment section what you think about all this. I'm sure at this point, like I said, Pokemon Z is probably going to be the official title because of the fact that they said that they weren't going to do it. Then they went ahead and did it anyway, pretty much just to throw everybody off. And I don't know, it was kind of a weird situation. Nevertheless though, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. And for any other further news that comes out about this movie, these new Zygarde forms, or anything to do with Pokemon Z, you can find it right here on my channel. And yeah, that's going to be all for now. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.